In this video, we've researched and compared the biggest names in the proxy world head-to-head. Whether you're a Fortune 500 mining global insights, a growth hacker running 100 tabs of automation, or a side hustler flipping sneakers at 2 a.m., there's a perfect proxy stack waiting for you. Stick around, and by the end, you'll know exactly which proxy service fits your needs. And as always, timestamps below this video, along with free trials and the latest discounts to all of these tools. So let's get started. First, Bright Data. Bright Data isn't just a proxy provider or a scraper tool, it's an all-in-one platform for web data. It combines an unmatched proxy network, powerful data collection APIs, and even ready-made datasets into a single ecosystem. This means you can choose how you want to gather data. Build your own scraper with Bright Data's infrastructure, use their pre-made solutions, or simply download the data you need. Over 150 million residential IP addresses from real devices worldwide are available. This is one of the largest pools in the industry, meaning you can route your requests through millions of real user IPs to avoid detection. You can target virtually any country, city, or even specific mobile carrier or ASN to get geo-specific data. Bright Data offers every major proxy type for different needs, including residential, data center, mobile, and ISP proxies. For advanced usage, Bright Data includes a free open-source proxy manager tool to centrally manage and optimize proxies. You can easily rotate IPs, handle rules for retrying requests, and monitor usage through a GUI. No need to build your own rotation system from scratch. This is a big plus for developers who want fine-grained control. All of this means you have a robust, flexible proxy infrastructure backing your data collection. The sheer size and diversity of Bright Data's IP network make it easier to avoid CAPT, CHAS, and bans compared to many competitors. It's literally powered by an award-winning proxy network that gives you best-in-class success rates and global coverage. Beyond proxies, Bright Data offers a suite of web scraping tools that can simplify data collection. Instead of building everything yourself, you can leverage Bright Data's APIs and automation services to fetch data from websites. The Web Scraper API includes pre-built scrapers for over 100 popular websites. This is a boon for beginners and pros alike. You can get structured data from sites like LinkedIn, e-commerce stores, social media platforms, real estate sites, GitHub, and more without writing the parsing logic yourself. Just call the API endpoint for the site you need, and Bright Data returns the data ready to use. No worrying about HTML structure changes. Bright Data maintains these scrapers. And if you've ever been stopped by IP bans or endless CAPTCHAs, Web Unlocker is your friend. You send your web requests through this API, and it handles blocks and CAPTCHAs for you behind the scenes. It's like having an expert do the tricky parts with a single API call. This dramatically improves success rates on tough sites without you having to tweak anything. Another web scraping tool is a scraping browser, which is a cloud-based browser automation service. Essentially, Bright Data provides headless browsers with built-in unblocking hosted in the cloud. It allows users to interact with websites just like a real user would, making it especially effective for collecting data from pages that use JavaScript, dynamic content, or complex anti-bot measures. What sets it apart is its built-in ability to bypass CAPTCHAs, browser fingerprinting, and other blocking mechanisms without the user needing to handle those complexities manually. This tool integrates seamlessly with popular automation frameworks like Puppeteer, Playwright, and Selenium. That means developers can continue working within familiar environments while offloading the infrastructure and anti-detection challenges to Bright Data's platform. Since it runs in the cloud, users don't need to manage their own servers or scale their own headless browser fleet. Bright Data handles all of that under the hood. The scraping browser also supports precise geolocation targeting, letting users initiate sessions from specific countries or regions, which is crucial for gathering localized or geo-sensitive data. Because it's hosted and maintained by Bright Data, it offers high scalability, with the ability to run unlimited concurrent browser sessions. This makes it ideal for enterprises or teams working on large-scale data collection projects. And if you don't even want to scrape at all, but just need the data, Bright Data has you covered here as well. They maintain a dataset marketplace with pre-collected datasets from over 100 different domains. This means you can directly access large-scale data for things like product prices, social media profiles, business listings, web traffic metrics, and more, without running any scraper. It's an off-the-shelf solution, perfect for those who need quick access to information or lack the resources to collect it themselves. For example, instead of scraping an e-commerce site's product listings one by one, you might download a dataset of that site's product catalog that Bright Data already collected. This is great for analysts or AI projects that need bulk data to train models or do research. Additionally, Bright Data offers industry-specific insights tools. A notable one is Retail Insights, an AI-powered service that aggregates data across many retailer websites to give you market intelligence. This can help businesses track competitor pricing, product trends, or inventory changes in real time. In terms of pricing, Bright Data's pricing is generally higher and more complex compared to many other web scraping tools on the market. While Bright Data offers a broad range of features, global proxy coverage, and specialized APIs for various use cases, its plans are often targeted at high-volume or enterprise users. Pricing is usually based on the number of successful requests or the amount of data processed. And if you want to give it a try, below this video is a free trial available across all plans so you can test everything out before you commit. Second, Decodo. Decodo is not some newcomer on the block. It's actually the new name for the well-known Smartproxy platform. This rebranding isn't just a cosmetic change. It represents a leap forward in technology and services. It provides a massive network of proxy servers and web scraping tools designed to help you access and extract public web data without getting blocked. Now, Decodo isn't just about raw proxies. It's an all-in-one platform. It combines traditional proxy networks with advanced scraping APIs and even an anti-detection browser. This means whether you just need a few proxy IPs to bypass geo-restrictions or you want an automated system to collect large-scale data from tricky websites, Decodo has something in its toolkit for you. You can mix and match these offerings for your project. For example, you might use the scraping API for one task, raw proxies for another where you need custom logic, and the X browser for a third scenario like managing accounts. Instead of juggling multiple services, you have a unified ecosystem. Decodo provides over 115 million IP addresses across over 195 countries. That's every country you can think of, plus thousands of cities. These aren't just data center bots. Many are real user devices. They fall into a few categories: residential proxies, mobile proxies, and traditional data center proxies. One of Decodo's strongest selling points is how user-friendly it is despite its powerful capabilities. The onboarding process is smooth. The website and dashboard have a clean layout where all major features are listed in the sidebar menu. Need proxies? Click Proxies. Need the scraping API? Click Scrapers. It's all logically organized. Using the proxies is straightforward. Through Decodo's dashboard, you can choose how you want to connect: a rotating proxy or a sticky proxy, which keeps the same IP for a longer session, up to 24 hours. You can pick a specific country or city if your task requires it, or let Decodo randomly assign an IP. Beyond the basic proxies, Decodo offers a feature called Site Unblocker. Think of this as proxies on steroids. It's designed for those nightmare websites that throw everything at you: CAPTCHAs, aggressive anti-scraping firewalls, geo-blocks, the works. Instead of you trying to configure a proxy and scraper to beat each measure, Site Unblocker acts as an intelligent middleman. You point it at the site you want to scrape, and it handles the dirty work of bypassing restrictions and solving challenges. Under the hood, it uses tricks like automatic proxy rotation, browser fingerprinting, and JavaScript rendering to fool the target site into thinking each request is a normal human visitor. For example, it can generate different browser fingerprints for each session, avoiding patterns that bots usually have, and even execute the site's JavaScript to fetch dynamic content, all without you needing to run a headless browser yourself. All the capacity in the world means nothing if the performance doesn't hold up. Fortunately, Decodo performs admirably. In real-world tests, Decodo proxies consistently show high success rates. For instance, tests on popular targets like Amazon, Google, and various social media have shown success rates around the high 80s to 90+%, which is impressive given these sites actively try to block scrapers. Decodo's main strengths relative to others are a blend of high-end features with accessibility. Some competitors are either very high-end and complex or very basic. Decodo finds a middle ground where an everyday user can access advanced capabilities. Another thing is cost-effectiveness for scale. If you use a lot of data, Decodo becomes significantly cheaper per unit than many peers. It basically can give you Oxylabs or Bright Data level performance at a lower bulk price, which is compelling for large projects. Of course, if we flip the coin, what are Decodo's weaknesses against others? Mainly, it's that for very low usage or extremely niche needs, Decodo might not be the best fit. A small hobby scraper might not need Decodo's full power and might opt for a $20 per month smaller service. And an ultra-sophisticated enterprise might want the dedicated white glove service of something like Oxylabs if budget permits. But for the vast majority in between, Decodo hits the sweet spot. Third, Oxylabs. Oxylabs offers a broad range of proxy types to suit different needs: residential proxies, data center, ISP, and mobile proxies. This means you can route your internet requests through real devices or servers in almost any location you want. Oxylabs' proxy pool is enormous, on the order of hundreds of millions of IPs in total. Just to break it down, they advertise over 100 million residential IP addresses and around 20 million mobile IPs, plus a sizable pool of data center IPs. These IPs span 195 countries, allowing you to target practically any country or city in the world for your data collection. You can even drill down to specific states, cities, zip codes, or ISPs when choosing an IP, which is great for highly localized data gathering. And because you're using IPs that appear like ordinary users in those regions, it lets you bypass geo-blocks and access local versions of websites. Another aspect Oxylabs emphasizes is ethical sourcing and reliability. In the proxy industry, not all providers obtain their IPs legitimately, but Oxylabs has a strong reputation for ethically sourced proxies. Its residential IP network is built from devices of consenting users. Oxylabs even co-founded an industry initiative to promote ethical web data collection practices. For customers, this not only means a lower risk of using IPs from dubious origins, but it also tends to result in more stable proxy performance. Indeed, Oxylabs is known for its high success rates, often in the 99% plus range for web scraping tasks, and fast response times. Independent tests have shown Oxylabs proxies to be extremely quick, sometimes connecting in under a second on average, which is among the fastest in the industry. Oxylabs Web Unblocker. Beyond raw proxies, Oxylabs provides a suite of advanced tools and APIs to simplify web data gathering. One highlight is their Web Unblocker, an AI-powered solution that automatically deals with anti-bot measures. If a website throws up CAPTCHAs or blocks, Web Unblocker will intelligently retry and solve those challenges so your scraper sees a block-free experience. This is great for scraping particularly tough websites that have strong bot detection. They also offer a web scraper API, which is basically an all-in-one data retrieval service. You send a target URL and parameters, and Oxylabs returns the structured data. This can save a lot of development time. Recently, Oxylabs introduced OxyCopilot, an AI assistant designed to help with scraping and parsing tasks. With OxyCopilot, you can write a prompt in plain English about what data you want, and it helps generate the code or request needed to fetch that data. A glimpse of how AI and proxies are converging to make web scraping easier. All these features make Oxylabs a popular choice for use cases like web scraping, price intelligence, ad verification, market research, SEO monitoring, cybersecurity, and more. Let's talk about pricing, because with all those premium features, you might guess Oxylabs doesn't come cheap. Oxylabs positions itself firmly as a premium proxy service, largely targeting businesses and enterprises rather than casual users. The pricing model depends on the type of proxy and plan. For residential and mobile proxies, Oxylabs generally charges by bandwidth usage. There are preset monthly plans. For instance, a starter package might offer tens of gigabytes of traffic per month for a few $100s. To give a concrete example, one of Oxylabs' lower-tier residential plans costs about $300 per month for 40 gigabytes of residential proxy traffic, which works out to around $7 per gigabyte. If those volumes are overkill for you, Oxylabs does have a pay-as-you-go option for its residential and mobile proxies. This lets you purchase smaller amounts of bandwidth on demand, at a fixed rate per gigabyte. The rate is $8 per gigabyte for residential proxies, and $9 per gigabyte for mobile proxies. SOAX offers a premium rotating proxy service designed for data scraping, ad verification, and other web automation tasks. The platform supports multiple proxy types: residential, mobile, ISP, and newly added data center proxies, all accessible through a unified dashboard. Their residential pool includes over 155 million IP addresses across 195 plus countries, while the mobile pool offers around 33 million IPs. Additionally, SOAX provides over 2.6 million US ISP proxies, combining data center level speed with the authenticity of real ISPs. The data center proxy tier, introduced in late 2023, adds roughly 300,000 rotating and dedicated IPs based in US data centers. One of SOAX's standout strengths is its precision targeting. You can direct traffic through IPs in specific cities or zip codes even at the city-region level within over 195 countries. This is ideal for localized SEO monitoring or ad verification. The service even supports targeting by ASN, which few providers offer without extra cost. Users can opt for a different location on every request or lock in an IP for extended sessions. The dashboard is beginner-friendly with wizards, pop-ups, and full API access. Developers can generate proxy lists in URL or curl formats, toggle proxy pools, and use features like Web Optimizer and Max IP for maximizing unique IP usage. Integration is seamless thanks to code samples, SDKs, and compatibility with tools like Foxy Proxy. The inclusion of mobile proxies via a peer-to-peer network of actual phones at competitive rates, and even a SIM-based API for rotating real mobile numbers, is rare and valuable for unlocking mobile-only content. The ISP proxy product is also unusual. It blurs the line between data center and residential proxies, giving users US-based IPs that move quickly yet remain hard to fingerprint. While the dashboard is user-friendly, advanced users have noted it still lacks some features that top-tier tools offer, and certain small annoyances remain. For instance, things like scheduling or in-dashboard analytics are minimal. In other words, SOAX is feature-rich, but not necessarily fully enterprise-polished in every corner. Finally, despite claims of unlimited use, absolute limits like the port caps and terms on long-lived sessions mean it's not truly boundless. For extremely large or non-stop scrapes, larger providers may offer more infrastructure. In terms of pricing, SOAX falls in the mid-market category. It offers both pay-as-you-go and monthly plans, starting at $4 per gigabyte. Larger plans offer better value, and in March 2025, SOAX rolled out more competitive pricing options, pushing high-usage plans closer to $2 per gigabyte. While not the cheapest, it's more affordable than enterprise options like Bright Data or Oxylabs, and includes many premium features at base levels. So in short, users who value easy integration, precise targeting, and ethical data sourcing will find SOAX especially compelling. However, casual users or very small-scale projects might balk at the cost and complexity, and teams needing truly massive parallel volume may compare SOAX against enterprise options to see which fits best. IPRoyal is a relatively young company, but it has grown quickly into a full-fledged proxy service with a huge pool of IP addresses all over the world. IPRoyal aims to be a one-stop shop for anyone who needs IP address variety and anonymity online, offering different proxy types for different use cases. IPRoyal provides all the main types of proxies you might need: residential proxies, data center proxies, mobile proxies, and even specialized sneaker proxies. And one big thing up front, IPRoyal is known for being budget-friendly. In fact, it prides itself on offering premium proxies at some of the most affordable prices on the market. IPRoyal offers both rotating and sticky residential proxies. Rotating proxies will change the IP address automatically, which is super useful for things like web scraping or crawling where you need a new identity constantly. Sticky or static sessions let you hold the same IP for a longer time, useful if you need to maintain a login session or avoid raising suspicion by changing IP too frequently. Another big highlight is unlimited concurrent sessions. IPRoyal doesn't limit how many simultaneous connections or threads you can run with their residential proxies. Advanced users love this because you can scale up your tasks without hitting a connection cap. With IPRoyal, you can get private data center proxies, meaning the IP addresses are exclusive to you, not shared with any other user. This is important because shared proxies can be less reliable or get blocked if someone else abused them. IPRoyal's data center proxies come with a 99.9% uptime guarantee to ensure reliability. IPRoyal's mobile proxy network is fairly large and growing. One source noted over 4.5 million mobile IPs in their pool, and another mentioned coverage in the US, UK, and Lithuania for mobile nodes. IPRoyal also offers sneaker proxies as a distinct product, typically using dedicated data center IPs that are optimized for retail sites. We've touched on this, but it's worth emphasizing. IPRoyal is often cited as one of the most cost-effective proxy services out there. For example, getting residential proxies at around $1.75 per gigabyte is a big deal for users on a limited budget. Many competitors charge several times that price for the same or smaller pools of IPs. And with features like non-expiring traffic, you truly get your money's worth since nothing is wasted. Now for the downsides, IPRoyal is relatively smaller than some industry giants, which means its total IP pool, while large, isn't the absolute biggest. For instance, companies like Bright Data or Oxylabs boast tens of millions more IPs. IPRoyal has millions but not hundreds of millions of IPs. In practice, for most users, IPRoyal's pool is more than enough and is quite versatile, but extremely heavy enterprise users might note that difference. Lastly, if I compare it to some competitors, IPRoyal doesn't currently offer fancy extras like built-in web scraping APIs or browser extensions. It's a straightforward proxy service. For most people, this is absolutely fine. You probably have your own tools or just need the proxy itself. But I mention it because some providers bundle additional tools like scraping API or automatic IP rotation software. IPRoyal is more bare bones in that sense. Proxies are the product. Again, not a huge con, but if you were expecting a complete plug-and-play web scraping solution out of the box, you'd need to pair IPRoyal proxies with your own software or scripts. 6. Scraper API. Imagine you could collect data from any website by simply calling a URL and getting back the page's contents. That's basically what Scraper API offers. It bills itself as a web scraping API that handles all the messy work behind the scenes, proxies, browsers, and anti-bot tricks, so you don't have to. In practical terms, you give Scraper API a link and it returns the HTML or structured data for you. It manages thousands of IP addresses, rotating them so sites don't ban you, runs a virtual browser to execute any JavaScript, and even solves CAPTCHAs. Under the hood, Scraper API provides a massive, smartly managed proxy network and browser environment. For example, it automatically rotates among millions of IP addresses, including both data center and residential IPs, to make each request look like a fresh visitor. It even uses machine learning to pick the right IPs when needed, so you only pay for the heavy-duty addresses when you really need them. On top of that, Scraper API can mimic a real browser, rendering pages with JavaScript exactly as a user would, and it automatically solves CAPTCHAs so those pop-ups don't stop your data collection. Scraper API also supports key scraping niceties. You can geo-target by country or region, set custom HTTP headers, and run many requests in parallel. It even offers specialized structured data endpoints for popular sites. For example, you can call an Amazon or Google search endpoint and get back clean JSON of product details or search results without sifting through raw HTML. All of these features, proxy rotation, browser rendering, CAPTCHA bypassing, geo-targeting, structured outputs, and more, come built into the API. Unlike a general-purpose proxy, Scraper API is purpose-built for scraping. A normal proxy will route your traffic, but it usually keeps using the same IP until you manually switch it, and it won't bypass any CAPTCHA or anti-bot measures. Scraper API, on the other hand, automatically changes IP addresses for each request, so target sites see lots of different visitors and therefore don't flag you as a bot. It also handles headers and cookies to mimic real browser sessions. In fact, Scraper API's plan bundles all proxy types including data center, residential, and mobile into one service with smart rotation, whereas traditional proxy services often sell those separately. Another key difference is anti-blocking. Scraper API advertises anti-bot detection and bypassing built in, so you never need to worry about having your requests blocked. Scraper API uses a simple credit-based subscription system. You choose a monthly plan that includes a set number of API credits, where one successful page request typically costs 1 credit. Plans start at $49 per month for 100,000 credits. Below this video is a link to Scraper API's 7-day free trial with 5,000 credits so you can test it out. Apify. Apify is like a one-stop shop for scraping data from websites and automating browser tasks. It's a full-stack platform that handles scraping, proxies, storage, scheduling, and more, all via a web interface or API. At the core of Apify are actors. These are just code scripts in JavaScript and TypeScript or Python via the Crawley library that perform scraping or browser automation tasks. You can write your own actor or grab one of the many ready-made ones from the Apify store. Currently, there are over 4,500 actors. In fact, Apify provides a marketplace of crawlers and automation workflows, everything from Amazon product scrapers to Google Maps crawlers and social media extractors. One big feature is built-in proxy management to avoid blocks. Apify Proxy smartly rotates data center and residential IP addresses for every request. That means each scraping call can come from a different IP, making it much harder for sites to detect or block you. Apify Proxy constantly checks its pool of IPs for health, removing dead or burned IPs automatically, so you get reliable, low-error runs. It also supports things like HTTPS, fixed IP sessions, and country-specific geo-targeting for residential IPs. Apify doesn't run its own giant proxy network. Instead, it aggregates multiple providers behind the scenes for extra reliability, so if one proxy source fails, it seamlessly uses another. On the automation side, Apify can run headless browsers or simple HTTP crawlers. You can schedule your actors to run daily, hourly, or on demand, monitor runs with dashboards and logs, and export results to JSON, CSV, Excel, or push them into databases. It even integrates with tools like Zapier, Make, or native webhooks. For example, you could have an actor scrape data and automatically email or Slack you the results. Since proxy needs are a big part of scraping, let's zoom in on Apify Proxy. By default, Apify actors can use Apify's rotating proxy pool. With every HTTP request, Apify assigns a new IP address, dramatically reducing the chance of getting blocked. The system continuously monitors the health of your IP pool and replaces any bad addresses. You can choose between shared data center IPs, fully dedicated data center IPs, or global residential IPs. Apify's pricing is usage-based with subscription tiers. Crucially, there is a free tier. On the free plan, you get $5 of platform credit each month. For paid plans, Apify starts at around $49 per month. At that level, you get more monthly storage credits and higher concurrency. Importantly, the entry plan unlocks all features. You don't have to pay extra for integrations or the actor store. So these are the best proxy providers available in the market. We hope this list will help you choose the right software for your business. If you are undecided about which tool to choose, in the video description, you'll find free trials and the latest discounts to all of these platforms, so we highly recommend checking them out to see which platform suits your needs best. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.